Hello, welcome to Exodus chapter 21. We are talking about damages caused by animals. When an ox gores a man or a woman to death, the ox shall be stoned, and its flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall not be liable. So, if an ox killed someone, the owner wasn't held responsible. But if the ox has been accustomed to gore in the past, and its owner has been warned but has not kept it in, and it kills a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and its owner also shall be put to death. So you could see how much human life is actually worth. Again, you could see lex talionis here, life for a life. But you could also see that there isn't a difference between how much the life of a man or a woman is worth. But I was thinking about it. You know that there have been catastrophes which could have been avoided if corners hadn't been cut. We had it in England a couple of years ago whereby a tower building burned down and people were burned to death inside it. And oftentimes you see that no one really is held responsible for it. You see a couple of people are questioned, but you don't really see anyone being made responsible. And it happens all over the world. And you could see it in the Bible that people are calling it useless, and all these old laws are just cookie and weird and make no sense. But yet again, we see that there is something that we could learn from. That if somebody cut corners and death occurs, that person had to pay. And I'm not saying people should be killed, but what you see in society that many times people are just not held responsible is crazy. If a ransom is imposed on him, then he shall give for the redemption of his life whatever is imposed on him. So he wasn't necessarily to be killed, he could be fined. If he gores a man's son or daughter, he shall be dealt with according to this same rule. If an ox gores a slave, male or female, the owner shall give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. So going back to the verse 30, in one sense it is similar, because you could see that even if someone gets fined, usually in today's society, usually the people, especially the rich, get fined in a way that it doesn't really hurt them. So in that perspective, it's quite similar to what's going on today. But I think the only difference is at least they did drag the person before court. Okay, what's interesting here is, so 30 shekels of silver was the price of a dead slave, which is incidentally the same price that was given for Jesus Christ. When a man opens a pit, or when a man digs a pit and does not cover it, and an ox or a donkey falls into it, the owner of the pit shall make restoration. He shall give money to its owner, and the dead beast shall be his. I read once that there is a sort of an equivalent, contemporary equivalent to this, because I read that there are places where if you hit a deer, for example, you can take the deer home, although it was pointed out that you probably are going to call the insurance company, and they're going to have to tow your car away, because if you hit a deer, it's going to destroy your car. When one man's ox butts another so that it dies, then they shall sell the live ox and share its price. I think it's fair. And the dead beast also they shall share, so they both share from the misfortune. Or if it is known that the ox has been accustomed to gore in the past, and its owner has not kept it in, he shall repay ox for ox, and the dead beast shall be his. So whatever that person stole is gonna give it back, and then the person gets to keep the dead beast. What I find fascinating here is the same rule doesn't apply. Lex talionis doesn't apply to when it comes to animals. So you could see how much different, how much more a human life was worth in the eyes of God than an animal. And again, it comes down to, you could see that this was a couple of months after the Israelites came out of Egypt. So considering what they came out from, these were radical changes. So we're going to see that things are going to be developed as we go further on. Amen.